most of the things that I say on this channel are really self-evident, but you gotta have eyes to see and brain to process, and you just gotta snap out of it and think for yourself. Unfortunately, however, most people are just straight up zombies. Okay? About to get called. Or something like that. Welcome to Cosa Nostra Center, Transit Village, an unincorporated community of blah, blah, blah. Cosa Nostra, or the Republican Party, or the Democratic Party. What's the difference? Oh, some are more powerful than others. An unincorporated area is a region of land that generally refers to not being governed by a local municipal corporation. Similarly, an unincorporated community is a settlement that is not governed by its own local municipal corporation. Ohio City Incorporated. When did Ohio City become a corporation? In 1836. Your municipal government, your fire department, police department, the Department of Parks and Recreation, your church, probably, whatever, your public library, all of those are corporation that fall under the purview of bigger corporations or conglomerates thereof, right? So your local government falls under the purview of your state government, which is in turn overseen by the federal government, all of which are corporations, okay? That's why these so-called colonies, like Massachusetts, way back in the day, because that is your history all over the world, really, but U.S. is a great example of this because it was new, uncharted territory, had to be chartered, right? Incorporated, basically. Massachusetts was called, once upon a time, what? Massachusetts Bay Company. Okay, Massachusetts Bay Corporation. These so-called states are nothing but corporations. Now, name one. I'm not saying that there aren't some small corporations out there that do work this way, but name me any one of these big corporations such as Google or Apple, Nike. Name me one of those where the workers in that corporation get to elect the CEO. I'll wait. But for some reason, you've been convinced, those of you that have, deluded to think that the peons in the corporation that is known as the United States of America get to elect their chief executive officer, right? Commander-in-chief. Even though, even in school, they tell you that it's the electoral college, or not really, but kind of like the board of directors, if you will, at least for that particular task. It's those people that get to elect the president. You don't. And yet, everybody and their mama, just about, get so emotionally involved in these elections, thinking that they actually get a say in what goes. They think that this person that they believe they elect to be the president will carry out their will into effect, into law, when it's actually the other way around. That's why you have all this propaganda it's those people and their agendas that you get brainwashed with and accept as your own, internalize after you externalized your own voice by giving it away. Voice, voce, vote. You're giving these people your voice, saying that I'm going to shut up now, you tell me what to do. That's all that you're doing when you go to vote. That's why they need you to participate. That's why they're always telling people to go vote, go vote. Not because you get to elect the president, but it's a contract that you sign saying that whoever comes into power in this corporation, I will obey them. That's the contract that you're signing. One of them. One of many contracts. Like the one you sign with the IRS, promising to give them part of your paycheck. And then you're coming out saying, but the Constitution says I don't have to pay taxes. Well, if you don't have to pay taxes, why are you signing contracts that say that you will pay taxes? And then you want to go back on that when you already signed a contract promising to pay taxes. Don't ask stupid questions, okay? Well, how do I then not pay taxes? Well, really? Really? Whenever I say this, people ask me that question when I already gave you the answer. Duh. This is something you have to figure out on your own. And many people have. I could tell you what the solution is, but it's way too fucking painful. And ultimately, most of you need a daddy to take care of you. It's really that simple. That simple. That's how simple that is. Anyway. So even though the people of the United States are taught from very, very little, if they pay attention in school, that is, that they don't get to elect the president because the media tells them otherwise, they believe they get to elect the president. I mean, fuck. But insofar as the people up top are concerned, I do believe there's a real struggle going on, right? There are different groups of elites who have a different vision for how to rule over you, okay? And they don't agree on everything. It is what it is. And yeah, I think the struggle is real. The way it's presented to us is definitely theater, but yeah, they are struggling up there. Trying to, rule the corporation. They have their own vision, and they want to roll with that. And in my opinion, it would seem that the guy on the right, they all want to enslave you. Ultimately, the goal, of course, it's tyranny. There are too many of you. You're multiplying too quickly. You've become too powerful. You have to be called. You have to be vaccinated. You have to be brainwashed. You have to be debilitated. You have to be basically brought into the fold. Okay? You have to be dominated. And your numbers obviously have to be reduced, which I believe that's coming. So ultimately, of course, the people up top want to hold the power and all the power. And the only way they can do that is by making you powerless, less powerful, obviously. So tyranny is ultimately the goal, but the right side, they seem to want to cook you very, very slowly, whereas the left side, they just want to crash and burn, baby. They're not that patient, okay? That's the only difference insofar as I can tell. But ultimately, whether it's the right or the left that comes into power, you're going to get vaccinated, okay? You're going to get muzzled, and a lot of you will get starved to death because Mother Earth is crying and you've been a bad, bad, bad human. You've polluted too much, you've destroyed the environment too much, and you have to pay the price, okay? You've engaged in too many wars, you've supported the death of innocent people all over the world. It's chickens coming home to roost. It's your time to pay the price. The third world is coming up and the first world is going down. It is what it is. Okay? So anyone out there who tells me, oh, it's the same everywhere, well, I mean, on some level, sure, but when you get down to the nitty gritty and the details, not at all. And the less you've traveled, the less you've been all over the world, the less you should have an opinion about this. Thank you. You got these scared shitless, quote unquote, patriotic people, afraid to go strike out on their own, right? Acting like they're going to do something, like they're going to defend something. They're going to stand their ground and fight for their rights. Yeah. Fucking collectivists. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. Nobody buying it, all right? You want to save yourself? You got to get the fuck out. Okay? Because all these zombies, they're going to overwhelm you, period. So you got to get away. But look, yeah, the struggle is real, man. The struggle is real. Trump is trying to do whatever he can to retain power. And, you know, these are power-hungry freaks, control freaks. That's what they want. They want to control people. He's got his own vision, or the people behind him got their own vision. And the people behind Biden got a slightly different vision. But ultimately, they agree. On all the big stuff, they agree. It's just how we get there. You know, they bicker about that. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. And, you know, this election, all elections really, but especially this one, has really proved to at least me or those who have their eyes open that the American people, people in general, are deaf, dumb, and motherfucking blind. Bunch of zombies walking around, right? Screaming freedom, democracy on both sides. So long as, you know, we win, then that means freedom and that means democracy by any means necessary. So long as we win, quote unquote, we win, then we're free and democratic. There's some serious allegation, evidence of voter fraud, as always, right? And the left side is saying, no, 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 no. Democracy has already triumphed, right? The legal process is unnecessary. We don't need any of that. Suspend all of that, right? Really? Are you sure you want to suspend the few freedoms that you have left? Really? You sure about that? Okay. Okay. But, you know, anybody who's truly in favor of democracy and whatever the fuck that means, right, should welcome these legal challenges from Donald Trump. Anybody who believes in the system, I mean, you go vote, so you have some kind of faith in the system. Whoever you voted for, you should be happy and you should encourage Donald Trump to go through with this, right? And you should chastise the media for electing the president or saying that he was elected when that's not, it just isn't true, right? But once again, the Democrats proved to be nothing, everything but democratic. And once again proved that they don't care about the law, they don't care about fairness, they don't care about free elections. They want to suspend the legal process, and they think that that's, you know, it's just like this petty, infantile desire to just be, you know, given that next fix, I guess. Sugar or a pacifier or something, just this narcissistic desire to have their little bratty needs met, period. Disguising them as, you know, with all these lofty ideals and words and shit like that, when ultimately it's just about the fulfillment of whatever ephemeral, temporary, fleeting desires that they may experience at any point in time, with no outlook into the future or what consequences this sort of thinking may bring about, will bring about. Okay, so there's no such thing as democracy in the United States because nobody wants it. Nobody truly wants democracy. They just want to be given that which they scream and shout for. And fuck what these other people say. We're going to win this thing by any means necessary. Ultimately, unknowingly, fucking themselves, basically. So, long story short, yeah, there is a struggle up top in the high echelons of the United States corporation, and you could say this about any country on this planet, basically. Any corporation on this planet. Yeah, the struggle is real, but none of that has anything to do with you. You just have to support these people because if you have faith in the system, that's how the system stays alive. It needs to feed off your energy, your lifeblood. It needs your participation in order to stay alive. These people are vampires. They are nothing without you, without your support. That's what voting is about. It's about supporting the system. Whatever that system is really up to them. Whatever that system looks like is not up to you. But so long as you support it, they get to do whatever the hell they want to do with you. And whichever side wins, they're going to do the exact same thing with you. The left side will just, they're bringing the pain. And the right side is cooking you slowly. Right? Have fun with all that. I'm going to do my thing. Take care.